My name is Will McGuire. This is 1-3 South Broad Street, the home of Live Event New York and the future home of about a 4,000 square foot private office and residence. Let's check it out. So yeah, this is the space that's back here, and it's completely wild. Old batters, and there are these shelves, and it just kind of feels like a library up here. (1872), so that's got some age and character to it here. So this is 1 South Broad. This here is 3 South Broad, and this is the door with a shared stairwell up through the middle. So we pulled the carpet off the stairs here, and we did a little bit of just tear down, but everything is essentially as it was when I closed on the property in September of 2020. Yeah. The ceiling is still really cool. It has all of that painted tin. It's not copper, I don't think. You can see it a little bit better down here. Okay, so here's the landing at the top of the first flight of stairs. We have 1 South Broad Street over here, 3 South Broad Street over here, and the shared stairwell, obviously. The plans for the 2nd and 3rd floors over here are to be about a 4,000 square foot living space and office space that we will rent out on an individual basis. It won't be like a monthly rental or like a family rental or anything like that. It's going to be a private residence and a place for me to stay while we're working on big projects. And I can also rent that out to customers, clients for an Airbnb style type thing. Let's just get into the tour. So first we're going to go through this door here on the left. So that opens up into this little area here. This was law offices several years ago. It's not like super flashy. So there's the landing. Yeah, you can tell it was offices by this like textured security, privacy, glass stuff. Anyway, so we have doors. Doors 1, 2, 3. We'll go in 3 first. So this area is ultimately the bathrooms. They had a men's room, women's room over here, but we're just going to take everything from this door frame right here and open it all up. This will be one big open bathroom, full shower, full bathroom, and everything. The 2nd floor has a little bit limited space as far as bathrooms go, so actually the biggest one will be over here. We have a cool little cabinet here, if I can open it. There we go. This is the Harry Potter cupboard. Right now it's just some cleaning supplies and things like that, but I think it would be cool to open this back up, to use this as like linen storage or something like that. It's pretty cool. We'll cut that out. Okay, so yeah, this was the men's room. It's dated, as you can see. Okay, so here we are, the rest of the doors. Through here, this side of the building will function as offices over here, at least on the 2nd floor. This is one of the office spaces for one of our team. There's another one here. We got our high-end refrigerator and luxury cooking appliance here. Hamilton Beach, Walmart special. It's high class right there. One of the things that we did in these spaces, because we didn't do much, like I said, it was painted like this. We pulled the carpet because it was like that really thin, like high traffic carpet for offices. The worst thing about it was that it was red. It was just, I couldn't deal with this. We pulled the carpet and we replaced a lot of the drop ceiling. Everything in here was like the commercial grade drop ceiling stuff. That's like the crumbly white 2x4 sheet of stuff that's all crumbly and weird that you see in schools and businesses. We replaced that with this, which are just tiles you can get from Lowe's, and they look way, way better. Okay, moving on. That's the landing from which we came originally. Bathrooms, offices, whatever. through here. This is my office, and again, it's really in fancy shape in here. Lots of plans for this space, but for the time being, it's just going to function sort of as is. Okay, now we're moving on to sort of the crossover space between the office and workspace here at 1 South and the living and rental space in 3 South. So out of all of these buildings, there's not a single pass-through on the first or third or basement floors, but the second floor got a pass-through between the two buildings. The second floor got a pass-through, got a pass-through, got a pass-through, got a pass-through. So this actually, as we walk across now, we've now entered 3 South Broad Street. In between, there's this little room here, as you can see, is where I sleep sometimes when I'm working here. Ultimately, this will be kind of like a studio space, a little bit of an electronic space. For my business, I do some music editing and some video editing. Got a couple fun ideas. This room might function as a podcast room. I think it's just, generally going to be a multimedia room. We did replace the drop ceilings in here as well, and we still need to trim it up a little bit, but man, those look so much better than the commercial ceiling tiles that were in here. Also, there's this window here, which for like a room is kind of so-so, but as a studio space, this is like, how Jay-Z is this? Like, oh, this is, just look through the window and see what projects we're working on. And then moving on, we go through into the living space, and then into here. This will be the dining room. So when we rent this out for Airbnb or whatever, this door will be closed and locked. So they won't be able to go over to the office side of things or access the studio or anything like that. It's accessible, but also lockable. You can close it up. I did not paint this. This is the expired Dijon and off-brand ketchup theme that seems to be dominant in this building here. We pulled the commercial ceiling and we once again started updating the drop ceiling. And there's a specific, coffered. They are coffered ceiling tiles. These things are like $8 or $6 or $8 each for a tile at Lowe's. And for a few $100s, you can radically change the look of any drop ceiling space. Okay, this is a cool desk that was here. I'll probably keep this. It's not like super fancy and it's not like, a 100-year-old mahogany desk, but it's kind of cool. At the end of the dining room, we have 2 doors. Just for continuity's sake, we'll go dining room through this door into what will be the kitchen space. Let's see if we can do this. Open this up. You can pretend like you're Monica from Friends. Go out the window. So yeah, this is the space that's back here. And it's completely wild. This is my building here, and this is my roof. So if I really wanted to get creative for private use only, we could put like a little breakfast / tea or coffee table or something here. Nothing formal whatsoever, but it is a space that could be utilized. And it's also visible from the roof, which we might get up there and look. Okay, back in. All right, before we run out of battery, let's continue. All right, through here, we have what will actually be the entryway of the living space. I know I did that a little bit backwards, but this will be the entryway. And if we go through this door, 360 degrees back around to the landing that we originally came up. These cabinets were here. These are pretty cool. Obviously, we have to change the paint scheme up. But these are really nice. These will work well for coats, gloves, boots, things like that. Yeah, those will definitely stay. This space here will be a bathroom. It's not being subdivided into small rentals. It's all going to be used as like one big space. So 3 bathroom, technically like 3 or 4 bedroom, and between 3,000 and 4,000 square feet, depending on if you include the office space. So let's go upstairs to the 3rd floor and see what we've got going on up here. So everything past this door, it just gets sort of older and older. Like downstairs at the commercial level, we're pretty much up to date. Up here, we take a step back into like the 80s, 90s. And then as we go through here, I mean, now we're stepping back in time. We've got wooden stairs here, and let's check it out. These are about 1,000 square foot spaces, and they are virtually untouched in the past like 100 years. So this one right now, with the exception of a few things like my modern desk over there, came from the building. It was salvaged from like the basement or somewhere in the building. Got all kinds of awesome stuff.
What we do here is go back.
That says J.M. Lucas, Norwich, New York. These we found under some makeshift floorboards in the basement. A few of them still have labels. Oh, right there on the bottom. This bottle is not to be sold. Yeah, so that's like some prohibition stuff right there. Tons of shoe signs. This is probably the most famous. I had a lot of people messaging me about this. Everyone recognizes this from when they were kids. Old ladders, and there are these shelves. And it just kind of feels like a library up here. It's sandblasted and painted, and it just says drugs. This rope right here went to a pulley system that's in the ceiling. And then to the eyelet right here, and then a rope ran down all the way through to the basement. It was a utility hoist for, you name it, furniture, coal. So out of all of the windows in this section of the building, this is the only one that opens bay window style. So this one is marked by this awesome slab of stone here, and these actually open up like this. It's way nicer when it's warm out. And moving on, arguably the coolest thing about this corner of the building, the clock that's on the corner of this building. Now, a lot of people don't even know this is here, but there is an historical clock on this corner right here. And it was moved from what was originally the Chapman and Turner building, which was across the street. And you can see actually there's a little post right there, and there's a small clock on the corner over there. That's actually a representation of where the clock on this building used to be. There was a full building there. There's this wild story behind it. And like a storm came and high winds blew off part of the roof, and the clock like fell off the building, and the stories say that it killed a girl. Quick side note, I did do my research after I recorded this, and I found out that it was much more than just a story. It was true. It was a couple, Mr. and Mrs. Frank Hendrickson, whose lives were claimed in 1954 during Hurricane Hazel. When I was telling the story, it was really just a ghost story that I had heard. So condolences with the family members. This was not that long ago. So moving on. The Historical Society refurbished it, and then they relocated it to here on this building. There's actually a plaque downstairs that commemorates it and talks about it a little bit. So through this door is the clock. Without further ado, here it is. And they keep the time, and then every minute on the minute it advances this main gear right here, which then advances the hands on the clock. And if we stay here long enough, we might actually get to see it move. There it goes. Lots of cool ideas for this. We'll get into that. Yeah, so there's the clock. Before we leave this room, I just want to show you a few cool things that we found in the building. This is a ticket that we found under the floorboards of the room next door. Now, it's a little bit hard to see. Let me get my flashlight out and see if that helps. This, I'll read it to you. It says, First Grand Ball, Brotherhood Locomotive Engineers, to be held in Clark Opera House, Norwich, New York, Friday evening, January 24th, 1896. And then it says music by the City Band Orchestra, full bill, and then it gives the number. And this one actually wasn't used. You can see that the ticket hasn't been ripped off for supper. And there are a few more pieces in here. I'm actually not even gonna go through this. I don't have this properly stored or cared for yet. They're just in these sort of laminated sleeves, and I'm just going to leave that as it is for now. TDN 1872. So that's got some age and character to it here. All right, so here we've got another one of these really cool iron doors. Those have to be updated for codes when we redo this, but they'll be repurposed somewhere. So here is going to be the main bedroom and bathroom space for the living space. This overlooks the atrium space that we were in before. You can see my footprints down there. This room is in kind of the worst shape, but it's actually pretty typical of what you see at a lot of these old buildings. It's all lath and plaster, and it all has to come down. This is one of the rooms that I couldn't get away from when I first looked at this building. A lot of people came in here and they were like, oh my God, what a disaster. I can't even imagine what a project. And I was like, this is awesome. I want to spend the night in here. Yeah, this is about, again, each unit is about 1,000 square feet. We're going to open this wall up, and then there will be free flow between the bedroom space and the bathroom space. Oh, we got some sirens. We had everything checked out by professional contractors, and there hasn't been any damage found anywhere as far as structural integrity, rotting, or anything like that. Thankfully, everything is okay. First thing I did when I closed on the building was put a new roof on. I don't think I'd been closed for more than a week before we had a team of people up there completely redoing the roof, and now we're all good. So here we have access to the roof, which we might get up there if it stays light out and you can see. I noticed that when I was in here, it's kind of a really weird, narrow closet. It's very long, and just upon first inspection, it feels like a stairwell. And so we looked down at the ground. The floorboards in here ran a different direction than the floorboards in the closet. And so we pulled the floorboards up in the closet. That's where we found that ticket from 1896. And then we also noticed that there was definitive remnants of a stairwell here. You can see the framework on either side, where they clearly just removed the stairs and boarded it up. This will be reestablished as a stairwell down to the second floor. Just want to see what you see. I got
carbon monoxide detector. I should have known. I should have known. What are you doing? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's starting to get dark a little bit, so let's go up on the roof while we still have a little bit of light. This can be just like a casual, informal hangout as well. Nothing that can be used commercially, but something that can definitely be utilized personally for fun stuff. Now I think, since I don't really have much with this thin windbreaker on, I think I'll head back downstairs. This cool door is actually a double hinged door, so it swings both ways. Each building has its own basement, so there's a separate basement for 1 South Broad and there's a separate basement for 3 South Broad. Over here we have office supplies, team gear, some giveaway items, merchandise. We've got like bags, pullover hoodies, coats, shoes, water bottles, you name it, that's where all that stuff lives. We just painted these walls, redid these stairs. This is etched into the plaster on the wall. 36. There's another one up here. So this is the basement under 1 South Broad. This is where we keep all of our decoration items, specialty pieces, glass centerpieces, everything like that. We keep all of our small item storage over in this basement, and then all of our big things like tables, chairs, staging, all of that goes in the basement under 3 South Broad. These are all like silk florals, more than you could ever want. I won't particularly go through everything that's down here. This is all sort of business specific stuff, and I might give a tour of this more in depth, you know, some other time, but just in general, this is storage. Okay, so we had to recharge the GoPro battery a little bit. It's a little bit darker, but now you can see the clock and the lighting that we have under the tower. So that's it. That's 1-3 South Broad Street. I've been wanting to upload something like this for a really long time. Let's just upload a video, show the place off a little bit, see what we're working with. Now we have a starting point so we can see where things go from here. So anyway, hope this wasn't too long. There should be more. Thank you so much for the interest and all of the positive comments that everyone has sent my way. I'm so thankful. I'm incredibly excited to get into this.
Bless you. Bless you.
Raise the spirits with those. Don't you just love when your mother calls you and then won't pick up the phone immediately after?
That's the beauty of it. My mom don't call me. She messages me.
Dude, immediately call back. Nothing. It's cold, isn't it? I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna do that. You still recording on that bad bitch?
Oh, this is William McGuire. This is my building. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I don't know, that sounds crazy.
Except I don't really have a YouTube channel. Welcome to my first sort of video. I got 2 others from 5 years ago.
Alright, it's still cold in the hallway.